If I told you that one single decision, one habit, was holding you back from becoming financially free, would you be ready to change it? Let me be brutally honest with you. For years, I did everything right. I worked hard, I saved money, I followed the advice everyone gives. Live below your means, don't take risks, avoid debt. And guess what? I was still broke. No matter how much I earned, I was always one emergency away from disaster. Until one day, I stopped. I stopped doing the thing almost every middle-class person does, and it changed everything. In just 6 months, I went from stressed and stuck to finally building real wealth. So, what did I stop buying? I'll tell you in just a moment, but first, let me take you back. I used to believe the key to financial success was earning more. Get a raise, land a better job, climb the ladder. But with every pay bump came another expense, a newer phone, a nicer car, a bigger apartment. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was trapped, stuck in a cycle of earning and spending, trying to look successful while quietly drowning in liabilities. Then, I remembered something my rich dad taught me early on. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you keep and where you put it. And that's when it hit me. I had to stop buying liabilities, not just expensive ones, all of them. Anything that took money out of my pocket instead of putting it in. What happened next changed the course of my financial life. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I stopped buying, why it made me rich, and how you can do it too. Whether you're earning minimum wage or 6 figures, this will work, if you're willing to think differently. Let's get into it. If working hard made people rich, why are so many hardworking people still broke? That question haunted me for years. I did everything I was told, got a good education, worked overtime, saved what I could, avoided credit cards. And yet, every month ended the same way. Empty bank account, mounting stress, and a sinking feeling that I was missing something. I looked around and saw the same pattern. Friends grinding 9 to 5, or more, barely getting by. Smart, capable people constantly juggling bills, dreaming of one day. And then it hit me. Maybe the problem isn't how hard we work, but what we do with the money we earn. That's when everything changed. I stopped buying one thing, just one, and within 6 months my entire financial reality flipped. My stress dropped, my income grew, and for the first time I felt like I had control. Not hope, not luck, control. Most people never escape the rat race because they keep making the same mistake over and over without even realizing it. I know. I was one of them. I thought buying nice things meant I was successful. I thought having the latest car, phone, or wardrobe would make me feel better about myself. But those purchases didn't make me rich. They kept me poor. You've been told to work harder. I'm here to tell you, it's not about harder, it's about smarter. And the first step? Stop buying this one thing. When I did, my money finally started working for me instead of disappearing. If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're ready for a real change, not just motivation, but transformation, keep watching. I'm going to show you exactly what I stopped buying, why it matters, and how you can do the same. Because 6 months from now, you'll either wish you started today, or you'll be glad you did. I followed the script perfectly. I got good grades, went to college, landed a steady job, and played by the rules. I was proud of my work ethic. I showed up early, stayed late, said yes to everything, and saved whatever I could. But no matter how hard I pushed, it felt like I was running in place. The bills kept coming, the debt piled up, and the stress never left. I kept thinking, is this really all there is? I wasn't lazy, I wasn't irresponsible. I just couldn't figure out why I was still broke while others seemed to get ahead. I thought maybe I needed a raise, maybe another side hustle, maybe just more time. But deep down, I knew something was off. Then, one day, I asked myself a different question. What if the problem isn't how much I earn, but what I do with what I already have? That question changed everything. Because the truth is, it's not just about working harder or making more money. It's about what you buy, and more importantly, what you stop buying. That was a turning point in my financial life. I realized that every time I got paid, I was trading long-term wealth for short-term pleasure. The car upgrades, the gadgets, the clothes, all liabilities. Things that looked like success on the outside but were quietly draining my future. Once I understood the difference between assets and liabilities, once I saw where my money was actually going, I made a decision. I cut out the things that were keeping me broke. I stopped buying what the average person buys, and I started doing what the wealthy do. And in just 6 months, my entire financial situation transformed. This isn't about deprivation, it's about direction. Where your money flows, your future grows, and once you get that, you'll never look at a purchase the same way again. So, what did I stop buying that made such a massive difference? One word: liabilities. That's it. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most misunderstood concepts in personal finance. Most people think if they can afford the payment, they can afford the purchase. That mindset keeps them stuck. Liabilities are anything that takes money out of your pocket. Assets are what put money into your pocket. That one distinction changed how I saw every dollar I spent. For most of my life, I thought I was doing the smart thing. I bought a brand new car as soon as I could afford the monthly payment. I had the newest phone, the latest laptop, the designer shoes. I told myself I deserved them. I worked hard, right? But month after month, I watched my money disappear. I wasn't building wealth, I was just collecting stuff, and that stuff was draining me financially. My rich dad taught me that the poor and middle class buy liabilities and call them assets. They buy houses they can't afford, cars they don't need, and things that lose value the moment they leave the store. The rich, they buy things that pay them: rental properties, dividend stocks, intellectual property, businesses. That's the game. When I realized I was pouring my money into things that only made me look rich, not actually become rich, I stopped. No more financed cars, no more shopping to impress people I didn't even like. No more lifestyle inflation just because I got a raise. I redirected every dollar I could into assets. And the result? My money started coming back to me. Month after month, I watched my cash flow grow. I wasn't working harder, I was just working smarter. Stopping the habit of buying liabilities wasn't a sacrifice. It was a strategy, one that set me free. The wake-up moment didn't come in some dramatic flash. It hit me quietly one night, sitting at my kitchen table with a bank statement in front of me and a sinking feeling in my chest. I had worked for an entire month, poured in the hours, hit my targets, stayed late, and yet, when the numbers came in, there was barely anything left. Again. I was tired, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. That's when the truth surfaced. Every dollar I had spent on liabilities was stealing my future. I remembered something my rich dad said to me years earlier: the poor buy liabilities, the rich buy assets. Back then, I nodded, pretended to understand. But now, staring at the proof on paper, it hit differently. I wasn't just buying things, I was trading time I could never get back. My future freedom was being sold off one purchase at a time, and I was the one doing it. That night, I stopped feeling like a victim. I stopped blaming the economy, my job, taxes, or bad luck. I realized that I wasn't trapped. I was just uneducated. I hadn't been taught how to use money the right way. But now, I knew. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. The emotional shift was immediate. I went from feeling powerless to taking control. I wasn't stuck. I had a choice. I could keep living paycheck to paycheck, pretending that the next raise would fix it all, or I could change the way I thought about money. That moment, I chose to stop living like everyone else. I chose to build assets instead of accumulating liabilities. I decided to stop living for short-term comfort and start building long-term freedom. It wasn't magic, it was clarity, and it changed everything. Getting rich isn't about having the perfect job or the biggest paycheck. It's about how you think. I used to believe it was all about hustle, working harder, doing more, climbing higher, but that belief kept me broke. The truth is, becoming rich is 80% mindset and only 20% tactics. Once I changed how I thought about money, the rest followed almost naturally. The biggest shift? It was in one simple question. I used to say, I worked hard, I deserve this. A new car, the latest phone, dinners out, weekend getaways, I saw them as rewards. But those rewards were draining my wealth before I ever had a chance to build it. So I changed the question. Instead of asking, do I deserve this? I started asking, does this make me richer or poorer? That one shift reprogrammed how I made every financial decision. Suddenly, it wasn't about what I wanted right now, it was about what I was building for tomorrow. I had to let go of instant gratification, and that wasn't easy. It's tough to say no when everyone else is saying yes, when your social feed is filled with people flashing lifestyle over legacy. But the longer I held the line, the clearer the rewards became. I wasn't just saving money, I was building leverage. Every dollar I didn't spend became a brick in the foundation of something bigger: financial freedom. And the beautiful part? As I invested more in assets, those assets started paying me. Slowly at first, then faster. And with every bit of cash flow that came in, I proved to myself that delayed gratification wasn't deprivation, it was empowerment. Most people stay poor not because they lack opportunity, but because they think like consumers instead of creators. I chose to think like the rich. I chose the long game. And that mindset made all the difference. Once my mindset shifted, my actions had to follow. It wasn't enough to think differently. I had to start living differently. And that meant making some tough but necessary changes to where my money was going. I started by cutting out everything that didn't serve my financial future. The brand new car? Gone. I sold it and drove a reliable used one instead. Designer clothes? No more. I realized I didn't need a label to prove my worth. I canceled every subscription I wasn't actively using. Music apps, streaming platforms, even some free trial traps I'd forgotten about. I stopped upgrading gadgets just because a newer model came out. Every dollar I saved from those cuts had a new job. To make me richer. I took that money and reinvested it into things that would pay me back over time. I bought books that sharpened my financial IQ. I enrolled in online courses that taught me how to analyze deals, build businesses, and invest wisely. I saved up for my first piece of real estate, a small rental that started bringing in income. I began buying shares of dividend-paying stocks, slowly, consistently, and watched the cash flow build. But the most powerful tactical shift? I started paying myself first. Before I spent a dime on anything else, I set aside 30% of my income. 10% for saving, 10% for investing, and 10% for personal growth. This became non-negotiable. It came out of my paycheck before bills, before groceries, before fun. And at first it was uncomfortable, but it forced me to live on what was left, and made me realize how much waste I'd tolerated before. That 30% rule didn't just change my budget, it rewired my behavior. I stopped being a consumer and started acting like an investor. Each dollar had purpose, and every month I could feel the shift. Less stress, more control, real momentum. This wasn't theory, it was discipline, applied daily. And it worked. 6 months. That's all it took to go from feeling stuck and overwhelmed to finally gaining real traction with my finances. I didn't get a raise, I didn't win the lottery, I didn't stumble onto some secret investment. All I did was change how I used the money I already had, and the results were undeniable. For the first time in years, I had breathing room. I built up an emergency fund that covered 3 months of expenses. That alone gave me peace of mind I'd never felt before. I wasn't panicked when unexpected bills came up, and I didn't have to rely on credit cards to survive. My stress levels dropped. I slept better. I had space to think clearly. At the same time, my debt started to shrink. Without the burden of impulse purchases and monthly payments on stuff I didn't need, I redirected that cash toward paying off what I owed. And every time I knocked out another balance, my confidence grew. I could feel momentum building, like a snowball rolling downhill. Then came the real breakthrough, my first stream of passive income. A modest rental property I had scraped together the down payment for started sending money into my account every month. Not a fortune, but it was consistent. And it was money I didn't have to trade time to earn. That moment, getting paid while I slept, was when everything clicked. I saw the future I was building, and I knew I was on the right track. I didn't need more money. I needed a better plan. I stopped trying to level up my lifestyle and started leveling up my assets. And it worked. What started as small changes, cutting spending, shifting habits, grew into something powerful. I wasn't just surviving anymore, I was building. 6 months of discipline gave me something that years of hard work never had: financial momentum. And once you taste that freedom, there's no going back. Most people stay trapped not because they're lazy or incapable, but because the system is designed to keep them that way. From the moment we're old enough to understand money, we're trained to be consumers. School teaches us how to follow instructions, not how to build wealth. We're told to get a good job, buy a house, finance a car, and reward ourselves with things we can't afford because we've earned it. That's not financial freedom. That's a treadmill disguised as success. Consumer culture is everywhere. Ads tell us happiness is just one purchase away. Our social feeds are filled with people flaunting lifestyles funded by credit and debt, and the pressure to keep up is relentless. Most of us never stop to ask if any of it makes sense. We're too busy trying to fit in. It's not just about wanting nice things. It's about being afraid. Afraid of missing out. Afraid of falling behind. Afraid of standing out. We've been sold the lie that there's such a thing as good debt, that credit card points are some kind of reward, that it's okay to spend money you don't have because you only live once. But no one talks about the flip side of that YOLO mindset. Waking up at 50, still in debt, still chasing paychecks, still wondering where it all went. And when someone finally breaks free, cuts the cards, builds assets, lives below their means, they're called boring, cheap, even crazy. But I'd rather be called crazy and wealthy than broke and normal. The truth is, escaping the trap requires courage. Courage to think differently, spend differently, and live differently. It means risking judgment and pushing against everything you've been taught. But on the other side of that discomfort is freedom, the kind most people never experience because they're too afraid to stop playing the game. I stopped, and it changed my life. You can too. Here's what I want you to do, starting today. Stop scrolling. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Take one honest look at your finances and ask yourself, am I buying assets or am I buying liabilities? That question alone can unlock a future you never thought was possible. Most people are afraid to look at where their money actually goes, because deep down they already know the answer. It's not building their future, it's funding their habits. But if you're ready to get serious, here's how to start. Step 1. Track every dollar. For the next 7 days, write down everything you spend money on. Don't judge it, just log it. Awareness is power. You can't change what you won't confront. Step 2. Cut one liability. Just one. Maybe it's a subscription you forgot about. Maybe it's takeout 5 nights a week. Maybe it's upgrading your phone when your current one works just fine. Whatever it is, cancel it. Sell it. Stop buying it. Watch how quickly you free up cash. Step 3. Invest in one small asset. No, it doesn't have to be a rental property tomorrow. It can be a $10 book that teaches you something useful, a stock that pays dividends, a course that builds your skills. It can be small. The size doesn't matter. The habit does. Because once you shift your behavior from consumer to investor, even in the smallest way, you start compounding results that can change your life. This isn't about overnight success, it's about taking control of your financial direction. If you do nothing, nothing changes. But if you take these 3 steps today, 6 months from now, your bank account, your mindset, and your peace of mind will look completely different. Wealth isn't about what you have, it's about what you do with what you have. So stop waiting. Start building. Right now. 6 months from now, you can be in the exact same place, checking your balance nervously, juggling bills, wondering why it feels like you're working so hard but going nowhere. Or you can be miles ahead, with money flowing in, stress falling away, and the confidence that you're finally in control. The difference: what you choose to do today. You don't need a bigger paycheck. You don't need a finance degree. You need a decision. A commitment to stop wasting money on things that don't make you richer. A choice to start thinking and acting like an investor, not a consumer. That's what I did, and it changed everything. So here's your next step. If this message hit home, don't just watch and move on. Make it real, like this video if it inspired you. Subscribe so you never miss another lesson that could change your financial life. And if you're serious about your freedom, drop a comment below with the words, "I choose assets over liabilities." That's your first declaration. That's your line in the sand. And if you're wondering, okay, now that I've stopped buying liabilities, what do I do with that money? That's exactly what I'll be sharing in the next video. How I used my saved money to build simple, reliable income streams that 10x'd my cash flow. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to stay stuck in the cycle. The power to break free is already in your hands. Make today the day you take it. This isn't just another financial tip. It's the beginning of your transformation. You ready? Let's go. If you've made it this far, it means you're not just interested in money. You're ready to change your life. That's powerful. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know how this video impacted you. Tell me your story, your goals, what you're cutting, what you're building, and don't forget to include the phrase, "I choose assets over liabilities," so I can give your comment a heart. If you got value from this video, the best way to support this channel is to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single insight that could unlock your next financial breakthrough. We've got more powerful content coming your way. Real tools, real strategies, and real stories to help you escape the rat race and build true freedom. And hey, if you want to go even deeper, check out the links in the description. You'll find exclusive resources, ways to join our private community, and opportunities to level up your financial education starting today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself. You are the real money makers. I'll see you in the next video, where I break down exactly what I did with the money I stopped wasting, and how it started multiplying faster than I ever imagined. Let's build wealth together.